I talked about Rosicrucianism a while ago. The Masonic House of the Temple Lodge in Washington, D.C., the Grand Lodge of all of American Freemasonry. This magnificent building with all these little pagan symbols all over it. You see, it has two structures. It's made, first of all, like a Greek temple, and then on top of it, it has a step pyramid on it. There are 33 of these columns that support this Greek temple. And then there are 13 steps on this pyramid on top of it. 33 plus 13 equals 46. It's the number of chromosomes. It's the number of words that the devil spoke to Eve. Even in the two branches of Freemasonry. The more I study Freemasons, the more I realize that Freemasons don't even pick their nose without it having a symbol to it. Here we have Freemasonry, you have the Scottish Rite and the York Rite. And everybody says, well, you know, they just went two different ways. And there's a reason. You see, the Scottish Rite has 33 degrees in it. The York Rite has 13 degrees in it. And I want you to note, that's 46, by the way, same number. And I want you to notice that Freemasonry, here you have these guys on the lower part, and they hope to ascend to a higher level, one step at a time. That's what Freemasonry is all about. It's about the evolution of man, because it's based in part upon Rosicrucian doctrine, which talks about the past of man and his future evolution, him becoming a god. That's what Freemasonry is with its levels. You get to the high level. Now you can be the worshipful master. You can be a god. It's the exact same thing as what's taught in evolution. Evolution says, oh, we started out in this primal state, but over time we've gotten better. And I told you, you've seen this image before, the chimpanzee turning into a human being. There's something missing, something left out, something you haven't seen yet. Is that it doesn't stop with just man. It goes one step further into the Superman, is what it's about. The fusion, as Ray Kurzweil is one of these futurists. Ray Kurzweil's made a lot of statements here lately, and he's made a lot of press. Time magazine even featured him and his ideas on the front cover of Time magazine this year, 2045, the year man becomes immortal. Here we have this person here that's linked in with electronics. Somehow, some way, scientists are going to figure out. Ray Kurzweil was predicting, hey, we're close. Within the next, let's say, 30, 40 years, we're close now to the point where man, the word immortal, it means God, where man will become immortal. Rather than as in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, where the Bible talks about mortality, or this mortal must put on immortality because God changes us. Man says, God, we don't need you. We'll change ourselves. We'll either do it electronically, or we'll do it genetically, or we'll figure out a way of doing it both ways. But we are going to become gods. We just have to change some things. We have to tweak some things and change it. We might need a little help, but man is going to become a god one of these days. This article was sent to me yesterday. As I'm putting this together, I could not believe my eyes. This is recently. Bionic contact lens to project emails before eyes. The vision is to stream real-time information in front of the eyes. A new generation of contact lenses that project images in front of the eyes is a step closer after successful animal trials, say scientists. I want you to stop and think about this, okay? You're driving down in the car, you hear a beep, you pull your cell phone out, someone sent you a text message. And you know what we do? We think we're already gods. We think that we can drive the car, pay attention to oncoming traffic, and write a note with our thumb. That's what we think, and it doesn't work out all the time, does it? So we're not gods yet. And this is called the singularity, the point at which computers become so smart and that humans meld with these computers somehow, some way. And I had said even back then, and I'm not some big prophet or some big prognosticator, but I just kind of could see where it was going. And I said, you know what, at some point we won't be using our thumb to send text messages. We'll just go blink and we can keep on driving and send our text message. In fact, at some point we may not even have to do this to drive our car. We'll just go and drive our car. And here we're at the initial stages right now of having a contact lens, an addition to the human body that is able to project messages right in front of the person's eye. And then they never have to look away. We're getting close, people. We're getting very close. Here is a man by the name of Juan Enriquez, making some waves. I had several people send me this article. MTech, get ready for a new human species. Now that we can rewrite the code of life, Darwinian evolution can't stop us, says investor Juan Enriquez. He's writing in here about it. He's like Ray Kurzweil. He says at some point we're going to write our own Bible. We're going to write our own book. Our DNA, it's got some mistakes. We're going to change that. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix what's wrong with us. We're going to become gods without the blood atonement of Jesus Christ. That's really what this is all about. It's like the devil saying, God, we don't need you. That's what's going on here. Okay? The question was asked, why do you think there's going to be a new human species? Juan Enriquez says, the new human species is one that begins to engineer the evolution of viruses, plants, animals, and itself. As we do that, Darwin's rules get significantly bent and sometimes even broken. By taking direct and deliberate control over our evolution, we are living in a world where we are modifying stuff according to our desires. I want to be a god. I want to be able to do this and do that without being held accountable to my Creator. You see what's going on here? Here's another article. Corporations are patenting human genes and tissues. Okay? They're able to rewrite. They're able to rewrite the code of life. And here it is, right? I want you to get this. Because if the scientists... Now, I'm going to show you this, okay? I'm going to illustrate this. This is perfect right here. I believe that this is the book that God wrote. Okay? I believe that God wrote this. And I don't have a right to change this book. And actually, in earthly realms, this book is actually copyrighted, protected. You say, King James Bible's not copyrighted. In the United Kingdom it is. It falls under what's called the Royal Letters Patent. When King James authorized this book to be translated and they delivered it to him, he said, it's done. And nobody can change it. He put it under the Royal Letters Patent, which means the crown, the monarchy of England, owns this book in the United Kingdom. And they say nobody has a right to change this book. It belongs to the monarch of England. Okay, right now it belongs to the Queen. It'll belong to her heir, whoever that is. That's who it'll belong to, and no man has a right to change it. They say, fine. We'll rewrite it. We will significantly change it so we can apply for and receive our own copyright. New King James, NIV, New American Standard, New English Version, the Holman Standard, I mean, you name it. The Message Bible, they're all copyrighted. Okay? They said, you know what? We can't change that one. We'll just write our own. And that's what they did. Now it's not the Word of God. It's the words of the committee. It's their words. You see, because this article here, corporations are patenting genes and tissues. You know what that is? They're taking what's already been written and they're rewriting it. And they're saying, it's ours. It's our book. It's our DNA. It's our genes. It's ours. Listen to this. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. And listen to this. And their word will eat as doth a canker. You know what that word means? Cancer. Okay? Their word doth eat as a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. So watch this, okay? These people here said that this has errors. We're going to correct them. The genetic scientist says, it's so terrible. Let's change it. And then we'll copyright our changes. That way it's ours. I think that you should be able to see here a time when a human being will no longer be born free. He'll belong to the company. That's what he'll do. Here's another article. Pandemic possible. Scientist genetically modifies bird flu with scary results. They're tampering with it. Okay? And they think they're smart enough to figure out, it's safe. This article here, genetically modified mutants, quote, safe for release into the wild. They're taking little mosquitoes and they're tweaking their DNA a little bit so that the mosquitoes don't carry the malaria virus anymore. And they say, it's safe. Don't worry about it. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen all the movies. I've seen all the movies where the scientist modifies something and it turns out bad. I've never seen the movie where the scientist modifies something and it turns out to be glorious. Okay? There was a movie here, what was it, last year, called Species or something. I don't remember what it was called, but anyway, they mixed human and animal DNA into this gal, and okay? Didn't turn out so well, did it? Okay? By the way, she mated and reproduced, and it's going to take over one of these days. This brings us back to the days of Noah. Remember the days of Noah? Jesus said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. Genesis chapter 6, verse 12. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. The whole earth had corrupted itself, except Noah and his generations. Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his what? In his generations. Noah's generations, Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, their DNA had not been corrupted, like what was going on in Genesis chapter 6, sons of God mingling with the daughters of that. The mingling of the seed had already taken place, with the exception of Noah and his family. Okay? Noah was perfect in his generations. And this idea of evolution, I've told you now, of where it came from, what it represented, and where it's going. Evolution now is the next. See, we're not going to wait. We're not going to wait another 1,000,000 years to see what might happen. We're going to bring it on. We're going to do it by the year 2045. That's what Ray Kurzweil said. I don't know how true he is, but we're close. We're going to change our own evolution, and we have to get everybody to go along with it. And so we're going to pummel the marketplace of ideas with themes of evolution. It's being marketed everywhere. Products, advertisements, ideologies, religions. Think about this. Here is a company called Verifone. Now, let me stop right here. Okay? You know what Verifone does? Okay? Verifone has a company where if you go to a retail outlet and they say, how would you like to pay for this? Cash, check, or charge? And you pull out a check or you pull out a credit card. They swipe it in the machine, and in some cases it's an NCR, and they have their own logo and their own thing. But here Verifone has this little thing sitting there, and you go swipe, and it's got a little screen on there, and what it does, Verifone sends the card information in and checks the card. I used to work in retail when I was in college, and we had a book that we would get every month that we had to check every credit card number up against this book. Okay? That's so 1980s. Now Verifone says, we will take control of all the